Hello and welcome. This is me again, Hannah. Today I wanted to show you what I did in my sketchbook the other day. If you have 12 minutes to watch it, enjoy, or you can just play it in the background. There will be some music in the background. Anyway, that day I had a really bad day and nothing went right for me. Everything went wrong. And I came home and I had a good cry, and then I just took out my mixed media sketchbook and I wrote down all my frustrations for the day, which here I blurred out because I didn't want you to see and I just wanted to keep it personal. So anyway, I wrote all my frustrations and then I wrote what would help me in that moment, and it was rest, calm and peace. And then I sat down and I just took out some of my papers that I had in my stash, some leftovers from other projects, and I just stacked them on without a plan, really. And then I went in and I covered everything with gesso. I know sometimes it doesn't make sense. You put something on and then you cover it all up, but it kind of makes sense. It's your creative process, isn't it? So you just add whatever you feel like you want to add. And it doesn't matter that you cover it up later on or paint it over. It's there and you know about it. It's like my frustrations on that page. They are there and I know about them. And looking back, creating this piece in my sketchbook really helped me that day. I spent an hour and a half doing this. This is time lapse, so you won't see the whole process of it, how long it took, but it took me about an hour and a half and it just felt good afterwards. So anyway, after the gesso, I went with some paints, whatever felt right for me at that moment. I think I used Payne's Grey and some other blues and a little bit of magenta, and I just used the scraper and just covered the entire page, and it looked like a mess, but I think it just was right. It felt right for me because I felt like a mess in that moment. Added a little bit of white and then I sketched out my girl. So the hand the hand at the end will turn out to look more like a foot than a hand, but I don't mind because for me this hand had a very symbolic meaning. People when they meditate, they put thumb and the pointer finger. I think it's I don't know really, I think it's a pointer or a forefinger. Anyway, since I had kids, I've always called it the pointer finger, and it just stuck. So they put the pointer finger and the thumb together when they meditate, and I kind of wanted to have that feeling of peace and calm. That's why that hand came into my mind, and I wanted to do it in my illustration there. So that's where the hand came from. The girl, well, the hand needs to belong to someone, right? So anyway, the girl, I've done the first layer in white because my background was very dark, and then I went with one of the colors by Dayla and Rowney. I think it's peachy pink, but I'm not sure. And I've done a couple of layers of that just to have like a nice solid body, Dried all the layers, of course, and then I went in with the pencils trying to do some shading. And I think that's when things started to go seriously wrong because my shading was completely off. But like I said, it doesn't really matter, does it? So here you see me doing some bits on the face, like, shading the fingers and the fingerprints even. No fingerprints there, but I think because the acrylic paint, it wasn't very smooth. I didn't use any additives to my acrylic paint, so it was a little bit rough. It was drying really quickly and it gave me this nice texture, plus also the background stuff that I had underneath. I think it all added to the texture. which I love. I absolutely love texture. When I touch something and I can feel it, to me it just feels amazing. So anyway, there you go. I'm going with different colors. I went with purple or some kind of a violet color. Then I added some shades of like yellow and brown. And I'm just playing with colors, and you definitely see that the hand doesn't look right. But you know what? Doesn't matter. It doesn't. And then into the face. So I imagine that the light was kind of from the top, I think. Yeah, the light was from the top because I've done my shading under the chin, and later on you'll see where else. But yeah, I imagine the light shining from the top, so that's how I tried to do my shading. Again, with the same colors of the pencils, like the yellows, the purples and whatnot. And also, apologies for my head getting into the frame. I didn't realize. I like to stick my head in sometimes, especially when I draw certain details. I think I like to get quite close, and I forget that I'm filming, and then I watch the clips, watch the videos, and then I'm like, right, my head's in there again. But never mind. Oh, here actually I went for some soft pastels, and I think that really helped out, you know, with the shading and whatnot. I forget the hand. The hand is written off in my opinion, but on the face I think it really worked. And I've done those big nice peachy cheeks, and then I added a little bit of pink, like a very light bright pink. And then I went in with the tombos to do the lips. That's where I had to concentrate, and I had to get really up and personal with my illustration, hence my head in the frame. So then I used my paint sticks. I wanted to go in straight onto the page, but that didn't work, so I had to add some white underneath so that the colors can show up. These are really nice. I like using them. This is, I think, the second or the third project I'm doing with those paint sticks. I've got another video on my channel where I use just paint sticks. It's very similar to this one. Anyway, my girl looked a little bit bold, so I decided, let's give her some nice blue hair. I didn't want the hair to be a different color. I kind of wanted it to blend in with the background a little bit, but you know, not too much, and I didn't want it to stand out too much either, if it makes sense. That's why I picked the blue. I want the face and the hand to be the focal point of this whole illustration. So anyway, that's the hair, and then I went in with my black Posca pen to do some doodly flowers. And I got really quite frustrated with this pen, because I don't know if it's the fault of the pen or was it my fault. Maybe I just didn't wait long enough for the paint sticks to dry, and the pen just kept blocking, and I had so many issues with it. You would not believe it. It was driving me crazy. So then another thing, big mistake for me, I picked up another Posca pen, but this one was way thicker. I think this one was 5 BMR, I don't know, but I can write it down in the description box. Got the outlines done with the thick Posca pen, with the big boy, and then I went for the white one, and I've done some highlights in the hair. And again, I've done some highlights in the flowers. So here you see me like doing highlights on the face, on the lips, on the eyes. And at this point, I'm looking at my drawing and I'm thinking, she still looks bold. And I couldn't figure out what it was. until later, right then, when I realized she is missing eyebrows. How could you not draw eyebrows? So anyway, the eyebrows are done and she looks much better now, but only until the very end I didn't realize that I didn't do any lashes. Like, duh. But they will go on and she will look pretty, in my opinion. At least her face, because her hand, let's just not talk about this hand, okay? So I went in with some pastels, soft pastels, and I wanted to do extra shading because, you know, I've done the flowers, the light is coming from the top, and I still didn't do any shading under the flowers on her forehead. And going in with that grey pastel, I think I spoiled it. So after I've added the yellow one, I felt it looked much better. So far I'm quite happy with it. I'm just adding a few extra details with the postcards, like little hearts and things. And I think then I was like, bulb moment, winged eyelashes, and she completely changed. After adding the eyebrows and the eyelashes, she just looked so pretty. She's a cutie pie. I think that's pretty much it. All I did was outline a little frame with my black soft pastel around the entire page, using a little bit of details with postcards, and that was it. So I hope I didn't waste the 12 minutes of your life. Hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you in my next video. Now it's time for a few pictures. So thank you for watching and have a lovely day. Bye bye.